Hello. Hello. Say hello, Lex.
Hello, Lex.
Oh, for fuck! You start a podcast with your friends, trying to be different to everybody else, and they come along and make the same joke every other cunt does. Fuck's sakes! Say hello, Jacob.
Hello, Jacob.
Oh my god!
I should have said hello, Lex. That would have been.
That would have been a
That would have been
would
like
be-
an extra layer of weird on top of it.
Welcome to P.L.O.P, the Please.Like.Our podcast. Do you wanna give us a bit of a theme for this week, Lex?
Yeah, this
Think about it a
theme,
bit
we're going
flat.
to... Well, in order to be not flat, we're going to be having some tall tales, as in things that are a little bit implausible, hard to believe, both real and imaginary. You know, we're blending that thin boundary between fiction and reality this week.
That's a very poetic way of describing it, actually. I like it. I feel like you're overselling the intellectualism of this.
Well, you know what they say: overpromise, underdeliver.
No, they... Yes, they do! Wait.
They don't.
They don't. They...
See, I'm already doing it. I'm in your head.
He's in my... Oh my god, I've been psyched out. Well, what? Okay, first off, let's set some ground rules. Let's
Can I
get
just
serious
say?
here for
Can
a
I just
second.
interrupt you for a second, Cody? You've
Yes.
still got the test card up. People want to see our beautifully
People
crafted
do.
pictures.
Beautifully crafted pictures by dear
Guy.
co-hosts Jacob. Hello, twitch.tv/Gaki and Rice.
Sounds tasty.
I don't know what Gaki is, but at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. What is a tall tale, Lex? What's your definition of a tall tale? Why are we telling tall tales? Tell me about tall. Is it got to be?
You know Tigger. He's got a pretty tall tail.
I mean,
He can bounce on it.
he can bounce on it. I mean, can all tall tales be bounced on, or has he just got an extra springy kind of tail?
Not to make
Gaki-
this about my penis.
Gaki are spirits which live in horrible torment, are afflicted with constant suffering. It's the Japanese mythical creature. Apparently, that's what the internet says.
Oh,
Would they be tasty?
well, I mean, I want to eat suffering.
Unless it's also something else.
If I'm eating rice, I'm suffering. I don't like rice.
Well,
That's
rice is great.
No, it's not. It's just it's just a
Cody, you're
flavourless
saying rice
thing.
like it's one thing.
Rice is like a
Yeah.
really good component in a meal.
It's completely flavourless that you apply.
Right.
There are
stuff
so
to-
many kinds of rice. I'm not going to debate rice with you.
Cody,
That's not what
when
this
you,
podcast is about.
When you go to uni,
Isn't it?
if you go to uni, you will
In this
adore
economy.
rice.
Rice absolutely slaps, and I'm not hearing any more words against it.
What I will do.
You can have brown rice.
is-
You can have sticky white Japanese rice. You can have black rice, which is
What's
all like
black rice?
chewy.
What's black
There
rice? Well,
is.
chewy, I guess, since you just said. I mean, is that
Yeah.
still? Is it made the same way and just edited, or is it a completely?
When you say
different-
made, do you mean grown?
grown, well, you know what I mean. Okay, it could be it could listen. That is fair. It could be grown the same way as regular rice. And
Hey, how do you
genetically
guys make rice?
manipulated.
What's your rice recipe?
Well, okay,
Your
okay,
recipe,
a rice
if you will.
meal.
Okay. Anyway, so a tall tale. A tall tale is
Mexican
a
rice. I do like Mexican
it's a,
rice, actually. Sorry.
it's a sort of it's a story told which has elements that may be exaggerated, that may be extreme, but it's sort of positive as if it's real, like the giant Paul Bunyan, or that dude who sowed apple seeds across all of America,
What?
or Jesus.
A
Any
tall
of those
tale.
Religion. It's funny.
A tall tale is like, oh, I once knew a guy who did this, and then it's like all BS.
Like there
Basically.
once was a ship that went to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy of Tea, something like that, you know.
Or,
It's like, yeah, sailors are famous for tall tales.
I mean, I guess
Hmm,
all,
I
I once
mermaids.
saw the Kraken,
all shanties
and he
by
came from
definition
the
are
waves
kind
in a
of-
fog of mist.
Shanties by definition are kind of like a tall tale,
Right?
right?
It's the Pepe emote.
There should-
It's very rare. It's the Pepe emote.
Shanties are often tall tales.
Okay, rice.
Yeah, like most. I bet you that the whales always get bigger in the stories than. Actually, that can't be because they normally tend to bring the whales back if they get them. But you know what I mean.
Do
Things
they
get
bring
exaggerated.
whales back? It was Moby Dick about what's the name of the Abraham?
Ahab.
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 That is close enough. Was
Somebody hasn't listened to Demons and Wizards in a while.
or Mastodon in a while. That's two metal bands that like
Mastodon?
Cody
I
did.
hardly know her, Don.
Fuck off, please, God.
That's a great extension of it. It's like you're talking to a guy named Don.
That's a great extension of it, but Dim Ear, I hardly know it.
No,
is a-
that's not an extension. That's a
It's
butcher.
not, Cody. It doesn't work.
All started-
What's ear?
Ears, you know, the thing we all have on the sides of our head.
Speaking of which, I once heard a tall tale about a red and white knight on a black and white horse.
It's not tall tale.
Which
I mean,
I
it
don't
is
know.
a-
It's
That is
quite
a
long.
journey.
it's a
It
tale.
is. It's a.
Often when people
We
talk
can't
about tall
foreshadow
tales,
a
they
joke
mean
we're not going to tell because it takes 20 minutes to tell and it's also boring.
Right. But
boring.
you know what, guys? That's going to be like one of our reward. If we hit like 50 subscribers, Jacob will tell that story.
Subscribers, that's a bit of a jump in it. Followers, you mean?
Oh, wait, yeah, I get them mixed up. I don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
Twitch is fucking
Subscribers
wild.
pay.
Oh, okay.
You guys
We'll get
better
there
be
eventually.
fucking paying. Listen,
All these
should we
guys are
be
getting
like
it for free.
should we be like those that one Twitch streamer who was like she was basically a titty streamer, but any content where people weren't donating, anytime people weren't donating or subscribing, she was calling them all like leeches because they were enjoying her content for free by being on this free platform.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that. That was so funny.
That is a tall tale. I don't believe it. Chris.
That's the first tall tale of the night.
Kat, if you think that there are parts of a tall tale that we're telling today that you don't believe, put an X into the chat as a reference to the hit game LA Noire for several consoles.
Press X to doubt.
Press X to doubt.
By twitch.tv/saddonkey101 has been asked to talk about our favourite types of bottom teeth. I don't really know what that means.
Assume teeth on the bottom half of your jaw.
Well,
Or
one would hope so.
ass chompers.
I like incisors.
Oh, are incisors bottom teeth?
Incisor?
yeah.
I hardly know it.
Oh my
You'll
god,
have-
can we have a tall tale, please?
You'll have bottom incisors and top incisors.
So
that is how
for the
teeth
first
work, I
section of our
forgot.
tall tales today, I would like to ask you guys if there is anyone that you guys have ever met who you think other people might not believe is a real person as you start to describe them.
Shall I start to just describe a person, and you can guess if I've made them up or they're real?
Sure.
But this, you could just lead us down a wild goose chase of people that just don't exist for however long.
So I know a person at my uni.
Can I just make a quick request before we go on? That none of these characters can be from Warhammer 40k.
I seconded.
We have a
Seconded very heavily.
I'll go. You could say, Cody, that the Horus Heresy is a bit of a tall tale.
No, it's not. It happened in this fictional thing. We can't make reference
You really
to 40k. It's
think
too
a
nerdy.
mountain fell on a
Please-
guy and he got
Please,
out
guys,
of
please, I am begging. I will stop making
Jacob,
I hardly know her
Jacob,
jokes.
Is 40k niche?
it? I actually want to punch Billy for saying it's not niche.
Here's the thing, guys. It is absolutely not niche if we're going with the definition of niche that you guys used. Because the definition of niche that you guys used is insane. Because later on, Jacob, you weren't here for this, but when Cody, Billy, and I talked about this later, friend of the channel, Billy, Cody tried to claim that metal, the genre, is niche.
Metal is a niche genre.
Metal is a niche genre.
Oh my god.
I
It's
think
less
guys-
niche than it used to be.
Do people in the chat, do you think metal as a genre, no matter your feelings on it, because obviously metal is shit, just overall, do you think it's niche?
Most things are niche.
It's-
Most things are in a niche.
No,
All
if
I have
most
to pay
things are
Billy will
niche,
write.
then nothing is niche.
No, they're just in different niches.
Oh, well then, by that logic, like, what?
It's something is niche if it's like a
This is the plot of Incredibles.
it has
1.
a small following relative to the population, really. Do you know what I mean?
Niche is
Like-
something. It has, but it has to be really quite small to be niche.
White
Otherwise,
bread.
it's just like
White bread is not niche. Heavy metal music is niche. Right,
I think
let's move
brown
on.
bread is more commonly eaten than white bread, maybe though. Like, it's not like
No, but they're both like everyday things that everybody will come into
I
contact.
think if you could go to a party and you could
What
say,
I'm
"Have
saying
you heard
is-
of blank?" and they will say yes, and it's not that niche.
I'm just saying that
I feel like
white bread and brown bread is mainstream, and
Anyway, Jacob, you were going to describe
we're
someone.
brushing over the comparison between white bread and heavy metal a bit too easily. I think. I didn't understand the context.
well, I'm just saying that most people come into contact with white bread, but a lot of people don't like heavy metal.
A lot of people don't like white bread.
Yeah, but it's still a mainstream thing.
No, liking something, whether or not something is liked, isn't what determines if it's niche. It's how known something is that determines if it's niche. Surely.
Perhaps.
I think it can be niche.
Right, this
Sorry.
is.
Yeah,
Are we doing our? Are we
describe
doing
the
the
person.
theme?
Tall tales.
So there's a person at my uni, or is there?
Oh.
Sorry.
Who is the most false, annoying, irritating person I've ever met. And like whenever you see them, like
Is it Lex?
they have such. Lex doesn't go to my uni.
Also, sorry, you didn't really deserve that from me, Lex. It was an unnecessary blow.
All right, it's all right. So is all blow. Don't do drugs, kids.
And like
Educational
he
podcast.
or she or neither, because they may not
Ooh.
exist, or they
Ooh.
may be
Well-
non-binary.
Oh. Or any other variation.
Continue.
They could be. They could. What's the pronoun for like an otherkin dragon person? Do they have a pronoun specific to that?
Scum, I believe.
Okay.
Imagine just putting
And
your pronouns in your Instagram bio.
So
and
this
being scum.
person knows the name of I think literally everybody in the college, and will greet everybody they pass with a "Hey bro, how you doing?" and I give them like one of the bro hugs or a fist bump. And I think everybody who ever meets this person wants to punch him in the face.
I mean,
And it's just like,
Can I ask what
Who
is so
says, "Hey
unbelievable?
bro, hey"? I don't think I could describe the amount of cringe, like to the extent of how false they are about like who says "Hey bro"
I mean,
and greets everybody they meet.
I don't think this is a real person. I think you're overselling
Like,
this.
"Hey bro," like imagine a movie stereotype surfer dude who is 100% on 100% of the time and knows everybody and is like aggressively social to everybody, even the people who clearly hated them.
Aggressively social. That's a vivid.
Aggressively social.
And I think this person thinks that they're popular, but if they are, then I hate humanity. Because this is how much I hate. This is possibly the most hated person I've ever met.
If Jacob is making this up, he's doing a very good impression of Jacob's rage, which we all know well, but I haven't seen Jacob fake.
I'm good at hating a very few people very specifically, but most people in my head are alright.
It's like a sniper rifle of hatred.
But the few people I do hate, like it surprises people. Like, whoa, Jacob, I didn't expect you to be this hateful.
Absolute laser beam of abhorrence towards this man.
I think you're a fairly hateful person.
Or person.
It is a male.
I guess because
it would be less believable if like somebody who was aggressively male going, "Hey bro,"
but much funnier to be entirely fair.
It would be pretty. I would like that person. I think.
Yeah, that kind of takes on a sort of irony, doesn't it?
Well,
but,
do you think if someone who wasn't a man had all of the character traits of this person, you'd like them more?
In which case, you are sexist against men.
Sexist against men in that case.
I would just universally hate this person.
Wow.
And it's like they'll leave a group and they will say goodbye to everybody. Sometimes use the full name of the person at random. Depends how close they are. If they're on a first name basis.
I've got to be honest, Jacob. It sounds like you're encountering a Chad. Is what's happened.
This person is not a Chad.
I love it when you say goodbye to people and you just knock out the full name of someone every now and then. Oh yeah, it's very.
What happened was that the person's like, "Why do they use my full name?" It was very uncomfortable, and they'll like do a fist bump to everybody. It's like, dude, just leave. We want you to go.
Imagine leaving a party and saying everyone's full name and giving them a handshake as you leave.
No, I don't think this person has ever done a handshake in their life.
Ooh,
it's either a bro hug where you bring in the shoulders,
I
or
hate the bro hug.
I hate the bro hug.
Because it's that.
I've never done a bro hug to a person I've liked.
I have used them, but only as like the stages where I'm like trying to get to the point where I can actually hug the person. Where it's like
the bro hug.
Yeah, it's like what do you call it? It's transitional, you know?
Just like yeast.
Sorry, what are we defining as a bro hug here?
So you grab
Hand
your
clasp,
hands,
pull it in,
like, and then a shoulder bump.
Oh, I love.
then
a
you
bro
like
hug.
pat the back.
I stand by the bro hug. I think it's a great little
Bro
way.
hugs.
Most people who have ever insisted on bro hugging me, I've hated. And
They're intimacy for dudes who are afraid to wipe their ass because it'll make them gay.
What a jump in logic. I mean, I see where you're coming from.
It's the same. It's the same kind of thing. It's like it's on that wavelength. You gotta just hug your friends. Tell them you love them. You know, like be affectionate.
If you want to do stories
That
of
sounds like a tall
is it
tale
real
to
or
me,
not,
Lex.
do you know what is a treasure trove of? Is this story actually real though? Like
No.
what? Today I fucked up on Reddit.
Oh, that's true. That's
So
true.
many of them I'm told, and I'm like, surely that has not happened.
Today,
Some of them I
Bob
do
is
believe.
scraping the bottom of the barrel. Let's read off
We
a
get
Reddit, boys.
Today we're becoming Soot House, the destiny we've always been gradually scraping ourselves towards.
We're
Okay,
like Soot House.
so
but
I'm
every
gonna
day
guess.
it's slightly
Person
less
is real.
attractive than actual Soot House.
I'm gonna guess this is actually a real person, Jacob. Just
Okay.
because it sounds like one. And I have my own person who I think you guys are gonna have a difficult time believing. This
But it is real.
is the tale of Christian.
Is that a fake name?
I shouldn't have said the full name.
Sure.
I mean, yes,
okay.
for the purposes of this,
I
yes.
despise.
Don't clip this. We promise it's a fake name. Don't go
It's an
on
entirely
Facebook.
fake name. You can't find them in my friends list, even if you try. It's fake.
Whatever you
I haven't
do,
just made a huge error.
You don't go on social media and say that name. That would be bad. Don't do
It would be
that.
terrible. That would get us shut down, and the last thing we want is us being shut down. Anyway,
Maybe what you guys want, but we'd be upset with you if that were the case.
so, you know what? Let's call him Christian because that's a fake name. But it's in the same zone of the real name because you need it to be. And once we were at uni,
that we actually knew.
Yeah.
Just did like bridge ones.
At our old college, at Telford College of Arts and Technology, we get a shout out for Telford College of Arts and Technology.
Did you
Rep
just
Telford College of Arts and
what's the
Technology.
word called?
Docs.
Did you
I'm
just dox
doxing.
TCAT?
Docs TCAT, guys.
The Telford College of Arts and Technology is a big place. You can.
It's not called TCAT anymore though. So technically,
You know
we have
what?
doxed them.
It is my personal protests against that college to keep calling it TCAT. I've called it TCAT in front of the principal, and he looked at me in not a very nice way, and then he walked away. I still wave at him whenever I see him. I don't think he likes me very much.
Well, because you called it TCAT.
Yeah, I also keep waving at him.
Imagine
and I
being
called
that
him
much of
Grey
a
Grey.
moron. He sounds like an arse.
So here
It was
are
better than
three
when
stories.
the principal when I was there.
Anyway, here are three stories about this fictional person.
This fictional person who does not exist.
Who does not exist
With a
and whose
completely
name is not
fake
in the
name.
chat. Luckily, anyway, he was one is that once he went on a rant about why Muslims have to call their kids Muhammad. He was very angry about this. He was like, "What? So would you just name your kid Islam?" There was a slow silence as one of us turned to him and said, "Yeah, it would be terrible to name your child after a religion, wouldn't it?"
Okay, so
Christian.
this is person.
Yeah. Story 2 is him turning to me during a fucking normal ICT class and just showing me this terribly edited CGI video and being like, oh, "I actually think mermaids are real. Look at this," and like being thoroughly convinced that the mermaids were like an actual thing. That was quite strong.
What's this guy? I never really met this guy. The only time I really met this guy is when he dangled off the side of a bridge and I just left hoping he'd fall.
What?
I don't know this story.
Okay,
Jacob.
Can we just back up a is this a guy you both knew?
I didn't really know him, but I spent one. Like I went out like with a group of people, and he was part of it.
Right, and this was at your old college.
He was at the old college, but he wasn't in any of my classes, so I mainly just heard about him.
Someone you know of. Yeah, I know a lot of people like that.
So I shared classes with this guy, and my favourite of all the stories has to be, we had the best teacher in the world. We had Darren. Darren was an absolute legend.
That wasn't his name.
He spent a long time rescuing sea turtles in, South America. I was just tapping my thing.
This person is not real.
Anyway, so this amazing teacher.
So hold on, is this teacher made up? Because if this
no,
is this the same teacher who was on the Crystal Maze once?
Oh no.
Oh, okay, never
mind. Teachers on the Crystal Maze. This is falling apart.
We do. And we had the footage at one point as well. But I bet you Fiona could find it again if we asked. But friend of the channel.
Fiona, who's yet to watch it and don't even knows who I am. Friend of the channel.
Friend of the channel. And he had us debate, this teacher. He had us debate, it was a science class on fertility treatment, on the ethics of it. It was. And so I ended up on the 4 side of it because that's just what I was allotted at. And I start off with, I was like, it allows people who otherwise wouldn't have kids to have them. It allows them to complete their family in the way they would like to. Some very standard kind of opening arguments for the pros of it. This kid gets up and he's like, I just don't agree with this. I just don't think it's right. I just don't think it's natural. I don't think it's good. And I don't think we should be letting 2 men have children. I just don't think that should be allowed. And everyone was like, "Oh, come on, that's a bit offensive. Like, surely they should be able to raise children." He's like, "No, I just don't think it's right or natural." And we keep on talking on this. And they're like, "Look, what is it that in a woman that is innately, going to make having them in their life?" And it goes on for a while, and then he says, "Look, no, I just don't think it's natural for men to be having children." There's a silence in the class as we realise he thought fertility treatment meant getting men pregnant. So I quite calmly go, fertility treatment is just things like in IVF, in vitro fertilization. There's still a woman carrying the child, or a person with a womb, depending on, because trans men and non-binary people can also be surrogates, I suppose.
Represent.
And as the trans rep for this channel, I'll keep trying to do it. But in any case, I was like, no, there's still when we talk about 2 men having a children thanks to fertility treatment, we mean that one of them gives a sperm as a donor. And he was like, oh, okay. But I still don't think 2 men should raise a child. And then the teacher shut him down.
The progression of
I would have not let him get that far.
Oh my lord. So considering both of you have
imagine
said that this
being
is a real
given an out.
I think this is a fake tall tale. I think you made all that up.
You are correct. There is no real person called that.
No, it's a fake name that we definitely didn't say and definitely isn't in the chat, and you shouldn't find them and call them out for being stupid. Because that would be bad.
You actually shouldn't, guys.
No,
please
don't.
I don't know. You should. I think you should Photoshop a picture.
Please stop encouraging doxing, guys. Please, no. I beg you.
You should get a picture of Photoshop yourself as a pregnant man, and then just send it to.
So let's break some minds today.
Mods asleep. Send pictures as a pregnant man.
So, that's my tall tale. Cody, do you have a tall tale of a tall person?
A tall tale of a short person? Of a short person that is part of a tall tale. I'm trying to think of a realistic fake story to tell, but don't tell anyone that, because that would completely ruin the whole point of the game.
That would puncture the sort of entire tension of this section.
It would. So there's any tension to this, really. Let's not kid ourselves. So I mean,
tension.
No. Building off of the college stories, I suppose. We're young. We've spent a lot of our time in education. Although, actually, we haven't, because all three of us were homeschooled.
Which explains the energy, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, don't bully us, because we're not socialised.
We don't know how to be.
Exactly. Yeah, I had a teacher when I first entered into formal education who may well be my favourite teacher I've ever had still. And he was just a maths teacher who always smelled of smoke. He just horrible smell. He was a chain smoker. He'd always smoked a pack when he came into college. He hacked up lungs frequently, and it was horrible. But he was a lovely guy, and I associate that horrible smell with him, and it makes me feel happy now, which is why I'm addicted to cigarettes. But anyway, the main confusing thing about him is
this
how...
is getting super dark super quickly.
The main thing about him that's weird was, one, he was actually quite tall, but two, how readily he got into arguments with 14 to 16-year-olds about things either one party had no knowledge of. There was plenty of vicious arguments about music just in the middle of math class, depending on modern music that teenagers listen to, or he would play music and someone would say, oh, this is terrible, and off they went. But it was in good spirits for the most part. It was fun to talk to. But there was one time where he took it a little bit too far, and a couple of people in the class had to be asked if it was making us uncomfortable and whether or not he was actually a legit teacher overall. And in keeping with the spirit of the sort of fun arguments, someone brought up their religion just to talk about. And now another...
Were they a Christian?
Yes, they were. Another key point about my teacher, who I will call Mickey McMahon, which is...
Cody, you can't just say his real name on stream.
Mickey McMahon. Sounds like a JoJo character more than anything.
I think you mean Peter McFlab.
Peter McFlab. That's a bit of intertextual reference. Good old Mickey. Twitch.tv/a hot doge knows exactly who I'm talking about. I didn't even realise. Yes, good old Mickey.
How could they, Cody? This could be a made-up person.
Yeah, they're backing me up. So Mickey started questioning this 14, 15-year-old kid about their religion. And it just kept going and going. And obviously the 14, 15-year-old kid is no great intellectual force on religion overall. And it just got to a point...
It'd be impressive if they were.
Yeah, it just got to a point where Mickey was ripping the poor kid a new one regarding their religion.
How does this guy have a job?
I don't know. But
destroying a young religious child with facts and logic.
It's actually called Ben Shapiro.
It was just Ben Shapiro.
That's the tall tale here.
It was literally facts don't care about your feelings, pretty much. It went on and on and on and on and on, but eventually
he doesn't have his job anymore.
He doesn't have his job anymore.
He shouldn't.
He doesn't have his job anymore.
No, that's...
But like after it, I said to him after the class, I can't quite remember. Twitch.tv/a hot doge may be able to help me out, but I'm not sure whether or not the kid in question ran out or walked out after it, or they just sat for the rest of the math class, because it wasn't near the end. This was like midway through our 3-hour lesson. It was a horrible atmosphere. Yeah. So at the end of the lesson, I went to him and was like, listen, dear Mickey, this was a bit much. And he just went, nah, it was fine. I'm sure she's fine. And I think he genuinely believed that he hadn't done anything wrong.
Person actually sounds like a horrible human being.
He was such a great guy.
This is dark.
But
this is not the story to sell us on. He was a great guy.
I know it's not. But then
it just sounds abusive.
The next lesson, the next lesson that I went in, there I had to talk to other people in the college. There was a whole shebang, and it was just incredibly awkward. And the reason why that's a tall tale, despite me keep making reference to it's true, is that he was about 6 feet tall, which is considered, pretty tall. Yeah.
That's tall. That's fine.
Tallish.
That's
that was good. I can't really think about any random, ridiculous, insane people I know in real life that aren't in the podcast with me.
When I have teachers who behave like that, I call them out.
Well,
do they not like that?
No,
they're like, hey, out! Stop it.
Oh, right. You know what? Never mind, Lex. Never mind.
No, go on, Jacob. You were just making a little funny joke in this comedy podcast where I just described a story. Was it really at your expense, or was it just using the words you said?
It was not at your expense. That was an extremely toothless joke.
Listen, time is money, and that took some time to tell.
Jacob, if I Venmo you like 20p, will you continue your story?
So, wow, you're really underselling how valuable Jacob's time is. Do you know what he could be doing in this time? Anything else.
To be fair, though, I am a musician, so I think he's actually overpaying me there.
Yeah, probably.
He didn't offer exposure, so he's doing it wrong.
You're getting exposure right now.
Yeah.
One time I called a guy out because
a teacher or a guy.
A teacher. Basically, the preceding week to me calling him out, he was the only tutor present out of 4. Because they walk around the rooms, the band rooms, and talk to people. So he was the only one, and he left for the entire thing to do a video for his own stuff. And then the preceding week, he moaned at us for not having done enough work and saying we should have had this conversation last week. And I was like, mate, you weren't here last week. And he's like, yeah, but I was given, I had to cover 3 rooms over an hour and a half. And I told him what I thought, and he no longer works as well.
Wow.
Is this becoming the episode where we just get teachers fired or teachers leave their job?
He clearly hated his job, and I hope to be in a position in my life where I can refuse him a job. That would be success for me.
Your success would be ultimate.
Also, all the tutors left, and when they came back at the end, he wasn't with them. So I clearly me basically saying that was unreasonable, mate, in quite a normal way, was enough to upset him where he didn't want to speak to me again.
And kids are just so mean to teachers.
I mean, I'm 21.
Oh,
I should have gone harder on him.
He could take it.
See, one thing I wish I had the sort of maturity and the sort of know-how to go back to past teachers when I was a kid and tell them when they were being stupid. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
Because when you're young, you sort of just accept it, oh well, I know this is stupid, but what am I gonna do?
So. This is now the section of the podcast that I have marked down for
my invention.
Yes, for Jacob's invention.
I have not got an invention because that was not the theme. The theme is tall tales. Did you guys know that there exists in this world as an invention, a purchasable product, glow-in-the-dark toilet paper? And do you know the company that makes this? Do you know what their leading line for convincing people to buy it is?
Can we guess?
Guess.
Okay, so this company only sells.
Well, no, I don't know what else they sell, but there's a company somewhere that sells glow-in-the-dark toilet paper. Why do they say you should buy it over normal toilet paper?
You could shit in the dark. I don't
know. Save money on your electricity bill, or
save money on your electricity bill because you have to turn the light on.
Yes.
It's putting a light on for 2 minutes is gonna cost fractions of pennies.
There's a couple of. I have a couple of issues with this, actually.
Is it that the toilet paper is probably more expensive than normal toilet paper?
Yes!
And running a light bulb, a low energy light bulb in a bathroom for a couple of minutes is going to cost less than the difference.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to put something that glows near my anus.
You and I are very different people, Cody, to be entirely fair.
I'm glad. But
Let's get a bidet.
I mean, to be fair,
Why
we're
would
aiming
that
to
help?
save money installing a... Also,
get a
and now
bidet
you've
with
got a
some
wet
mad
ass in the
strobe
dark.
lights.
Well,
It's the
that's going to
same
be more
effect.
expensive,
Why
and that
not
doesn't
just
solve the light thing.
Wait, what?
Why not just
Bidet?
eat things that glow?
I hardly know, eh?
Why not just open a glow stick and chug it? Then your shit will glow.
I thought you were going to go with that as like a suppository.
See, the
glow
thing
stick.
is, I can go around my house in
That
the
is true.
dark.
Can
Like,
you wipe
I
your
don't-
arse in the dark though?
Yes.
Yeah, I could wipe my ass in the
I
dark.
don't think that's a risk I want to take. Like,
What's the risk?
I don't want to get shitty hands. I could nick.
How are you going to get
Watch
shitty?
it.
How much visual information are you using
So
when
what?
you're wiping
You're
your
gonna
ass?
Completely
are
arch
you
my
gonna
back.
like
Use a
180?
mirror.
Are you gonna
Got a
180 your
small
hands
ass
and
wiping
wipe
mirror.
it with the wrong side?
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm just
How?
gonna like
What?
part.
Are
Actually,
you
yeah, I
gonna
didn't think
like
this
misjudge the difference and
Maybe.
use so much force that you just tear the paper up?
through. Exactly, that's what it is.
I do hate accidentally fisting myself when I try to wipe my ass in the dark.
It does
It's a
happen.
problem affecting 1 in 5 Britons.
I need to track how strong I'm getting.
Just
Yeah.
punch yourself.
Sometimes
on the
my
rectum.
gains at the gym are just so big, you know?
That is a tall tale.
So- okay, and then this glow in the dark toilet paper, you use it and then you just throw it away. How?
Yeah, it's
Flush it,
it's toilet
presumably.
paper, and then it glows. It's on like the little toilet paper.
Imagine how
Hole.
confusing that must be for, like, sanitation workers.
They see these glowing things.
I come in with their black light, and they're like, "Oh God, the toilet paper! What have they been doing?"
And they're like, oh my god, the turtles. Protect the turtles, they're gonna mutate, you know?
And that's how we get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It all makes sense now.
They use less water than making toilet paper. I did not know that.
Well, that makes sense, I can see it.
Makes sense. It's only a little bit of water for the most part. I've
You know,
never used the bidet.
to make one bottle of water that you can buy in a shop, it takes 10 bottles of water.
Damn.
I did not know that.
You do.
And
To
each
make
of
the
those bottles of water took 10 bottles of water to make. So it's
It's like a pyramid scheme of water bottles to make
Yeah.
one ultra powerful water bottle. Is this just like a what are they called in Power Rangers? The robot that can join together?
Megazord.
It's like a Megazord, but of fucking water bottles. I love a good water bottle. I remember for many a year, I swore to myself it was a personal oath I would never buy bottled water from a shop. But sometimes getting a nice posh bottle of water like Fiji water or something, you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference.
Well,
It
it's
is
mineral
posh
water, isn't it?
Yeah. What is mineral water?
It's,
I mean, it's got
no, it's
minerals in it.
spring water. It's spring water.
Fresh spring water.
Mineral water is tap water, and there was one time, basically, like you can buy bottled mineral water in America, and it's literally just tap water, and they just put it in bottles and sell it to you, and they don't bat an eye at that. And one of the companies who did it tried to bring it to England, and then people figured out, wait, this is just tap water. Why would we buy this? It's a massive con. So the company failed. But it's a bit odd
Dasani?
to think that
Is
there are
that
people
what
just
it's
selling.
called?
You know that one episode of I think it was Dasani.
Dasani was made by the Coca-Cola company.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
they made a bottle of
The
water.
product is tap water filtered and bottled with added sodium.
Mhm.
What the fuck?
Have you not seen the Tom Scott video, Cody?
Have
I'm
you-
here outside of an old water bottling factory.
Oh, fucking sometimes Tom Scott makes my brain just turn off and turn to mush.
Look, we really can't be rude to Dan's relatives, let's face it.
We can't. It's true. We need to get him on as a guest at some point.
That would be an
That
episode.
would be a great episode.
I wonder if people
We
would
get-
find him as funny as we do.
Probably not.
I
I
hope
think
so.
it really relies on us. The thing about our current ideas for guests is just people we know, which is, it could be good. It's just a bit of variety to the standard formula. But a lot of why we like them, why we think it would be funny, is because of all this backlog of all the time we spent with them. So I don't know whether or not the lovely people on Twitch would find
People
Dan as funny.
tend to find things they're in or people they know are in funnier than they actually are. which is why a lot of movies that are made are like a bit bad.
Yeah.
Because everybody's making them like, oh, this is great. We're making them. We got all the highs of making something, and we all know the inside jokes. And then it's like, yeah, guys, this wasn't funny.
You know when a bad film will put bloopers at the end of it to try and convince you that it was funny? Like, look how much the actors were laughing making it, and you're just there like stony-faced.
I like when animated movies go out of their way to animate the bloopers and put them in. I think that's a really good.
I don't think that's how they work.
No, I mean,
well,
no.
I mean, I suppose if someone flubbed a line in the audio booth, they could just animate something.
Yeah,
they might, but normally
fake...
aren't animated bloopers like when the animation goes weird and the software makes
they're
something
like fake.
stupid.
They're like the dude drops a prop, and you're like, ah, see.
Or like Shrek's mouth is 2 foot away from his face.
Wait, is that?
I wish Shrek's mouth was 2 foot closer to my face right now. You know.
I mean,
how far away is it?
2 foot. Yeah, I mean...
2 feet.
Well, we should get Mike Myers on.
Oh, that'd be great.
He's not doing much, to be fair. I actually think would be a good opportunity.
By Mike Myers, I mean we should get Shrek on.
Imagine if we just asked Mike Myers to come on in character as Shrek, and it worked.
No, and then we ask him, and then we also invite on, like, is it Dr. Evil? Who's the one from
Dr. Evil?
Dr. Evil.
And then we also invite Dr. Evil.
We also invite Austin Powers.
No, those dudes don't work together. They're famously enemies.
And we also invite Wayne from Wayne's World.
Oh yeah.
And we get them to talk to each other.
So it's just, why doesn't Mike Myers make a podcast where it's just his characters talking to each other? He'd make bank.
Why don't I think
maybe he's not very good at improv.
Like a Vine star did that once. Like Thomas Sanderson, I think is his name.
Yeah,
that's Michael Myers, Gwyn.
Is Thomas Sanderson the one who's like story time?
Yes. Story time. I'm gonna harass these people in public for views.
Yeah.
You know those things?
They're all his friends.
I imagine a lot of them are, but I think as he got more and more popular, he got more and more, confident and arrogant with his comedic abilities, and he started doing it for real. I wonder how many failed takes of those there are of him going up to people and then just fucking looking.
There'll be a few.
Just be like, mate, shove it.
Maybe he was good at picking his mark,
Maybe he's really good at that.
Much like the Musical Theatre Society of Goldsmiths University when they cast me in Rent. Am I right, fellow gamers?
Yeah, that was a joke everyone's gonna get.
Rent, or was this in the past?
As the character Mark, it was, you said, picking his mark.
Oh wow, okay. See, that was nobody got that. That was
no, I didn't even get it. I lost it halfway through.
Lex, you're fired.
You're fired. We're gonna replace you with someone next podcast.
That's very fair.
Mike Myers!
Mike Myers, coming on!
Play me! Can we get him to play me?
I think Mike Myers could do a good Lex. Okay, it's a classic question, but it's an interesting question. Who would play us in the movie about our lives?
Ooh.
I think Lex would have Russell Brand.
Aw, thank you.
Because they're both massive
What's he
commies,
talking about?
and I hate them both equally.
What's he talking about?
I have been compared, but lately I've been getting Jack Black, and it's quite upsetting.
Why is that upsetting?
Jack Black?
Because I don't want to be rude to Jack Black or to myself, but it's the hirsute chubbiness that's getting the comparison there.
Can you do high kicks like Jack Black? No, you're not the same level as him.
Not
you
the
don't
same
deserve Jack Black.
I can't believe you'd be offended to be compared to Jack Black.
Jack Black is a bit too dynamic to play a Lex.
Jack Black.
Wow! All right, Jacob. We're getting dynamism here from the guy who could be played by a cardboard cutout of a horse.
That would be great. Get him on.
Jacob would love that. I was a You missed that.
I think I should be played by Morgan Freeman. He's got the gravitas,
I would be Scott the Woz. I look exactly like Scott the Woz. It's true.
Well, no, Cody would clearly be played by Stephen Merchant.
Matt Smith.
I would. Oh, don't say Matt Smith.
You would though, wouldn't he? He actually would. I don't think that's a bad casting for Cody.
No, it wouldn't be that bad at all. He'd be so angry is the best part.
God. See that? Oh my god.
I want to see that. My new metric for me succeeding is to be able to cast Matt Smith as Cody in a film.
Why are all of your metrics of succeeding just being petty? Is it so you've reached the point
No,
where you
no,
can
okay.
afford to be a cunt?
This example is better. The other example is justice.
Oh,
What's the
Don't you want
difference?
to be in a position where you can say somebody can't have a job who doesn't deserve to have that job?
yeah.
I mean, that's why I intend to become.
I want to give
an
people who
employer.
deserve jobs, which is why I want to hire Matt Smith to play you in a film. He deserves that job. He's worked hard for
He's
it.
worked hard for it. He went through some horrible seasons of Doctor Who, which young Cody hated with a passion. What else is he in? He's in The Crown at the minute.
Crown.
The Netflix series The Crown.
There's something a bit Prince Philippish about you, let's face it.
What? I'm old and likely to cheat on my wife.
Yes.
Wait, is that
Yes,
the right
Being
one?
Prince
Second
Charles.
Oh, I get
That's the
them.
wrong-
I get my royals confused. I hate them all equally.
I mean, I don't, but it's only so I can be sure I have the right heads at the end of the process.
I see. Do you?
I always get my roles confused as well, Cody. I keep confusing Jim with Barb. It's crazy.
No, again, a joke not many people are gonna get.
Ah.
I've never seen the royal family. Is the royal family? Any
I
good?
think-
Matt Smith is in a Terminator movie?
Yeah,
Is he in
God.
the Terminator?
The worst one. He's not. He's
It's
Oh,
John
Jim-
Connor, I
Is
think.
Tim
Matt
is
Smith in
Arnie.
the Terminator?
He's in that really bad one that they made like a couple of years
There
back.
could be a few of them. I'll be honest.
That's true, but like the 2010s one.
Salvation? Or was that earlier?
I quite enjoyed
know.
Salvation actually.
I haven't really seen many of the Terminators, to be fair.
Terminator 1 and 2 are good. There is
Classy.
twitch.tv/Ellen or 84, which has a really nice ring to it. You've got the right idea. There are too many royals. I don't care whose head is which, as long as the basket is full of their heads.
Did you know that the guillotine was invented in Yorkshire?
I didn't.
Ooh!
What?
Speaking of tall tales
Yeah.
and guillotines, you guys know the origin of Madame Two Swords?
I don't.
The entertainment company.
Yes. Well,
The Waxwork Museum.
So the reason that they're called that is that Madame Two Sword was a wax smith. I'm not sure what the term is.
Wax Lord of the Wax.
A wax.
Yeah.
Long may they reign.
Waxmonger.
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 That's a great
Who
name
Who was
for a
also
band.
who was also a royal during the French Revolution. She was in the court. She was like one of the nobles.
Oh.
And so she was hired. She was spared the guillotine because she had the ability to replicate the faces of her noble friends in wax, so they could put them up because the actual heads were rotting too quickly
Oh.
for them to display them.
What a job!
This
to
sounds
have.
like a tall tale to me.
I think this is true. What a job to be given.
Should we get chat? What do you think? Do you think that's actually what Madame Two Sword was? Or do we think that I'm just
Okay, this is
putting
gonna,
some spurious bullshit out?
this is gonna out me as not knowing things. But Madame Two Swords is in London, right? The Wax Museum.
It is.
What? So why is it in London and not France?
I don't know. I believe that
Because-
it's just named after her.
Right. Okay. So there's
Don't
no real,
think she actually said, or maybe she fled to London. It's very. I would have fled to London if I was in the French Revolution.
A lot of
I'm
people
noble.
did. Maybe that the Scarlet Pimpernel saved her.
listening to the Plot podcast.
What?
Fuck yeah. I really hope you're not, because
I hope you are.
no,
I really hope you are.
I can't imagine any
You're
other.
doing a champion job.
I mean,
Keep at it, lads.
That's commitment to the podcast. That is a true fan right there.
That is.
Oh,
If you conceive a child to us, you have to name them Plop.
you do. That is a rule. That's how it
is.
works.
Or just after one of us individuals.
Or combine
favourite
all of our
one.
names together into one.
To make P.L.O.P.
That's how we got the name, guys.
Middle name. If you. Oh, I want to see this happen.
Middle name. You better. Twitch.tv/IMNM.
Timothy Plop.
She had a touring show, but Napoleon happened, so she was allowed to go to London instead of back to France. Oh, I hope
There
that's
you
not a
go.
tall tale, because if you did make that up, I'll be upset. But if it's true,
Napoleon wasn't tall.
Napoleon wasn't tall.
You know what? For the time, he wasn't short.
He was average, wasn't he?
How tall was Napoleon?
5 foot something.
5'7"? want to say.
Man,
That's nearly as tall as me.
I would demolish Napoleon in a mano-a-mano fist fight.
How do I convert these?
Hand-to-hand fist fight. That's...
Now, if he was commanding the
he was 5'6".
French
He was
military.
5'6".
Okay, even better. If he was commanding the French military, I still think I could have a good go at the French military.
What? At the entire French military?
Yeah, I think.
Is this before or after they invaded Russia? Because after, you probably could.
It's obviously after. I'm not trying to fight the French military at the height of their power. Well, the post-revolutionary French military. Well, the post-revolutionary, post-Russia invasion French military. I've said the word French military too much for this to be still.
Cody, here's the question: who do you think would be easier to defeat? The post-revolution, post-French military,
post-French military,
post-French.
Post-French.
Is it?
Personally, my work's kind of post-French. You know, it's like I shrug, but I don't have a cigarette in my mouth. So you know.
Oh wow, that's mad. That's experimental, man.
Yeah.
We've added 2 colours to our art films. No, it's just not that one with the red balloon and everything.
What,
else
Schindler's List? Wait, is that a balloon? That's a coat.
That's a coat.
What's
Is there not? There's this French
There's
art
the
film, isn't there?
illustration.
I think
it's a French art film.
What's he talking?
It's got a red.
It's an art film.
Wouldn't it be called if it was a French art film? Wouldn't it be called Ça?
Okay, I went for
I'm pretty sure there's a French art film where a child loses their red balloon and they're chasing it around, and the only thing that is coloured is the balloon. But
does sound familiar.
I'm pretty sure I've definitely seen it referenced in a lot of other things.
I mean, if it's not real, we should make it. Not as a French art film because we're not French, and I don't really think.
Speak for yourself.
Are you French?
You're not. French.
I'm not French.
But you wanted to say it for yourself. I understand.
I did.
It's
yeah.
okay.
I wanted to have that on the record in my voice. I couldn't let that allegation be put down by someone else.
Just in case, you know.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh.
What were we on before I got onto the French?
Napoleon, height, Madame Tussauds, the Royals. Who would play us in a film?
Who would? Oh my God, that was fantastic.
Pretty good, like
that was like
I am so good at this.
I bet you could have passed that test Trump did. Can you remember those 5 words?
It's man, woman, TV, camera, phone, but it's not in that order.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, no. Is this a superpower you have?
Yeah, I'm really good at recalling the flow of a conversation because my mind grasshoppers very easily.
I'm pretty good at it as well, but that was pretty quick.
That was really quick.
Thank you. What you don't know is I was actually taking notes.
You weren't. That is a tall
That's a tall tale.
Imagine I'm going to be the Twitter.com account, make up a guy right now. Guy who takes notes during personal conversations.
You just sat in a late night Discord call with someone and you try to remember something you said earlier on. Oh,
for my memoirs!
Let me just refer to my notes.
Flicks back through a little notepad.
Oh, yeah, that's even better that they're hand drawing it. Oh my lord!
Yeah, handwritten.
Yeah. No, then they're hand drawing it. They're doing illustrations of the conversational topics.
Yeah, creative notes are interesting. I like them.
What do you like?
Oh.
You know, some people make notes with pictures.
Yeah, I can't do. I envy people who. Well, one, I envy people who could do art because that's magic. But also, I envy people who can apply that ability to take in notes and revision. Having pretty revision is something I'll never be able to do.
The notes aren't going to be neat or masterpieces. It's just like some people, like if they're really bad with written language, like they're super dyslexic or something, they write notes with pictures. Like a shopping list, they'll draw a little bit of white bread to remember to pick that up.
See, now that's just
we're
pointless. Just read your list at that point, you fucking
because they can't. But it's like, a little picture of bread. Oh, I need bread. I think it works. I'm like,
because for some people's memories are very different, and some people's
But if you have the list with you of the things you need, that just says the thing, the things.
No, they're making the list. They're like, oh, what do I need at the shops? Oh, some bread. I'll just draw a picture of bread.
So,
they're making a list into a picture thing. What are you talking about?
Twitch.tv/acutely unaware has just come in and said that they are sorry they're late.
Twitch.tv/Eleanor84.
That one girl in history class like star emoji, slavery star emoji. I have seen there's an actual picture of notes like that. It's so horrible.
I think it's pronounced slavery.
Wow, okay.
That was my best attempt.
But anyway, twitch.tv/acutely unaware has come in late, and I'm afraid that does mean we are going to need to initiate the ritual of shaming, the P.L.O.P ritual of shaming.
Right, we've
practiced.
Is it doxing someone?
Yeah. So, her address. No. So what it is that first of all we all type add into the chat.
This is not going to come across well on the VOD.
What are you talking about, Lex?
Just think.
Somebody has apologized for being late because they got a life.
Yeah, but we should be your life. You're an alternative product.
Yes,
you can shame this person in your own private time.
Okay, but that would make it kinky. So let's just.
Listen, we're not here to judge what people do behind closed doors on the P.L.O.P podcast. On P.L.O.P.
Okay, guys. So I'll be honest. I pitched this entire
Twitch.tv/IMNM makes a good point of dyslexia isn't illiteracy, and
I never said it was.
I know, but I mean it's just a good point to bring up.
Okay, I would like to say that I actually started this entire topic, so I could specifically tell one story which I learned about the other night.
What topic are we on? I've lost track.
Tall tales.
Sorry, yeah.
The whole topic of the episode. So there I was, minding my own business, watching The U.S. Office, which is a reasonably good TV show. Not the UK Office, but it's a different vibe.
It's not.
It has Gabagool in it, Cody. You're legally obliged to like it.
No.
Okay, but at one point, my father turns to me and he says, "Oh, I've just remembered a story I learned when a kid that a butcher told me." At which point, we paused the show to kind of process this, and he's like, "Yeah," and he said, "Well, it was back when he was a choir boy, and it."
Wait, what?
So
this is not real. This is a tall
What had
tale.
happened was my dad and his mother, when my dad was a child, had walked into a butcher's shop, and the butcher had decided to tell them a story from his choir boy days.
No one tells stories of their choir. Oh yeah, when I was a choir boy, that was mad.
So he's just chopping up some pork, and he's just like,
they were just
when I was a boy, I had such a
available.
Well, here's what the story is the thing. I haven't even got to. I barely started. Is the thing. So this guy was a choir boy, and there was this one old woman who was there who caught him smoking a cigarette outside of the church.
Naughty.
Yeah, and so she reported him to the chaplain or whatever, got him in trouble.
I thought we said
at this point. At this point, our young future butcher decides to begin to plot his revenge. So what he does is he gets her prayer book, right? The prayer books that they hand out. He gets the one that he thinks is going to be handed out to her, and he goes presumably into the belfry, and he catches a bat. He puts the bat.
How did he catch the bat?
I don't know.
Did he lure it or something? Did he take it out of the sky?
Cody, I assure you, my dad didn't tell me this part of the story because the butcher never told him how, and he never questioned it until this day.
Why would you not question it?
He never questioned how the bat. But that's not. And then he puts the bat in the prayer book.
Prayer books are small, aren't they?
Yeah, again, there are a lot of questions here. And somehow he gets the book onto the bench so that when the woman comes into church next Sunday, she opens the book, the bat flies out and gets trapped in her veil, apparently.
What a load of... Yeah.
He puts the bat in the prayer book.
What a load
or else it gets...
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, Twitch.tv/acutelyunaware is saying in the chat, that poor bat. Do not be worried for the bat, because I assure you this can't have happened. Because my dad, in his 60-something years of life, had not questioned at any point the practicality of smuggling a bat in a book into the church. Like,
have we considered that as twitch.tv/.
Wait, how was the bat alive? Oh,
have we considered that as twitch.tv/ahotdoge has said that this guy could be Ash Ketchum, and therefore he threw a Pokeball to get the bat, and then when he became a butcher, he just got all his Pokemon and cut them up into meat.
Oh no!
And that's why they're a butcher. It's exotic meat. That'd be a good. Could you imagine?
If only there was a attractive, floppy-haired, beglassed man who could explain to us the different edibility of different Pokemon types. I wish that was a video that existed on YouTube.com.
Shame.
People should watch Brian David Gilbert, is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, there's a man called David Gilbert. He did a video about edibility of Pokemon. What's the most edible Pokemon?
I believe the answer was whatever that egg Togepi, is that his name?
I don't want his answer.
Jelly donut.
Your answer.
Oh, my answer.
You have to eat
for
a Pokemon.
I had to. I'm doing Pikachu for the clout. Ashes specifically. I'm gonna do it in front of him.
You're gonna eat Ash's
Ash
Pikachu.
Ketchum's Pikachu in front of him.
Do you think as you bite down, it would go Pikachu, and you're just dead now?
It would be a little chewy, I suppose.
Would you keep it alive as you ate it, or would you just try and
No, I'm not a monster, Cody. I'm just trying to eat a man's Pikachu in front of him.
Are you eating it raw, or are you cooking it?
Well, technically Pikachu comes pre-cooked because he's so electric.
Nice. That's a good point.
You don't cook things with electricity unless you have an electric stove. You cook it with the heat of the electricity.
I cook my food by fucking electrocuting it. Oh my god.
It's me,
Just do a rain
Palpatine.
dance real quick.
That would make it wet though. You don't want soggy electrocuted cooked food. Too many things.
Speak for
pick
yourself.
one.
For the record, I also don't want soggy electrocuted cooked food, but I wanted the chance to deny that allegation myself.
Just a quick question, Lexi. Are you French?
I'm actually not. Thank you for asking. There's been some confusion on the topic. And I am aware, as Gwynfro mentioned in the chat, sorry, twitch.tv/Gwynfro mentioned in the chat earlier, the beret on my little drawing isn't helping, but I am just a shameful cultural appropriator.
True.
I'm also depressed, another very French thing to be, so...
Man, are the French...
Have you ever given up in a war? Oh, you're pacifist.
That's a bit of an Italian thing as well, though.
It's just a European thing.
It is. Well, a mainland European thing.
So yeah, apparently I remember. Apparently, maybe a bat might be easy to catch if they're asleep, which they are in the day. But it's the putting the bat in the book that is the real.
Actually, I didn't consider that.
But it's the putting the bat in the book that is the really challenging part of this for me to believe, because...
You know how sometimes you get those prayer books that have
hollowed out books
to put in alcohol? You know, that little trope?
That wasn't a detail of the story that I or my dad had heard as part of it.
How old was your dad when he heard this story?
Around 4. I think.
The fact he's remembered this story, and we're expecting him to relay us a complete story with all the facts. This could have been a very plausible story.
Funniest thing to me about this is we know that the bat, in order for the story to work, has to be alive by the time she opens the book for it to fly out into the veil. So you're telling me that there's a woman who would pick up a book and not notice either a lump or the sound of a living bat within this book?
Surely a bat would have the strength to lift up a prayer book as well. Because it's not it's just sandwiched between the pages, the poor thing.
It's just
did he get any information on whether or not this plan worked?
Yeah, the bat flows out and actually tangled in her veil, apparently.
Oh my
supposedly.
God. This is definitely a tall tale.
It's a tall tale. It's also the best story I've ever heard.
It's pretty good. Was this church located near Wayne Manor?
No, it was in Norfolk.
Oh. Wayne Manor could be in Norfolk.
Where is the original Gotham? That's somewhere in Britain, right?
Is it? I thought it was an American town.
There's a village in England called Gotham in Nottinghamshire.
Jacob,
Mm-hmm.
why did you just time someone out for 600 seconds?
Because they deserve it.
For what?
I'm fixing something. Just go about your lives.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Again, terrible content.
I'm modding. I'm being an actual
guys.
mod.
Okay.
actual
Whilst
mod.
we're here, we seem to have moved on to the debate section of the Plopcast. So, what I would like to suggest here is I read something on Twitter earlier, and it's kind of bothered me since. So you know the whole debate of whether or not Jaffa Cakes were cakes or biscuits.
Yeah.
Is fig roll cake or a biscuit?
It's a biscuit.
However, the ruling was that a cake is something that goes hard when it's left to go stale. Fig rolls start soft.
I
Go
know,
hard.
but fig rolls kind of do go hard.
They do.
Actually, no,
They slap.
I don't like fig rolls very much.
Ow! How can you even call yourself British? That's a bit of a shame.
With a difficulty these days.
So yeah, what do you think?
I mean, well, do they go hard or soft when they go off?
They definitely go hard, but trying to categorize it as a cake. Like if you ordered a cake and someone put a single fig roll on a plate and handed it to you, be upset.
This is a cake. I mean, if someone marketed it to me as a cake, I would be disappointed. But if someone was like, "Oh, here's a fig roll," I was like, "Oh, a little fig roll," and it just happens to be a cake, yeah, I mean, I guess. But I mean, it's like no one offers a Jaffa cake as, "Oh, do you want a slice of cake?" Kablamo, there's a Jaffa cake.
A slice of Jaffa cake.
Yeah, they slice it really thinly. You don't even get the chocolate side; you get the breaded side.
Oh wait, you're suggesting slicing it vertically, like along the?
Yes, I am.
They wouldn't get any orange either. Literally just a little bit of tiny sponge.
It also gets thicker the closer to the middle it is, so you just get this really small piece of, I don't know, bread.
Well, cake, in a very legal sense. Wow. Okay, so anyone listening to this as a VOD won't understand this, but there is
we should really have a way to have a live chat.
An absolute purge happening here. There is a Stalin-style purge happening in the messages here. Jacob appears to have let the power go into his head, and he is just absolutely erasing our friend of the stream, Billy, from existence.
No, I haven't done that.
That was me.
That was Cody.
He called it
Cody.
He called it the P.L.O.P cast. That's not what
It was a mistake. We all have our errors.
They do.
I'm
Jacob,
doing real modding, which I'm not going to talk about because that would be unprofessional.
That's fair enough. We should do a bakery stuff tier list next week. Like, I mean, I guess that's just the cake tier list.
It's just the cake tier. We are really going back to our greatest hits here, huh? Already, the self-referentialness.
Episode 5. Episode 5. Wow.
Episode 5. Over a month of P.L.O.P.
Over a month of P.L.O.P. The second month of P.L.O.P. What do you want to see in the second month of P.L.O.P?
Ooh. I want to see us get avant-garde and postmodern.
And postmodern. Post-French.
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 Society has surpassed the need for France.
What was the last thing France did for me personally?
Yeah.
We can start again. Replace them with a different country that we make up. We should invent a country
called Germany.
France.
Wait, no.
No, that's bad. They tried that
bad.
already.
That went bad.
Twice.
Oh, imagine failing to conquer France twice. F's in the chat for Germany, lads.
It wasn't just like it was France by itself. They did have some help, in fairness.
I mean, really, France did the heavy lifting. Oh.
Has France heavily lifted anything in its life? What's heavy in France? I just assumed it was all
Blade
feathers.
of the mighty guillotine!
Which was apparently invented in England. Again, not French.
Yorkshire.
Shit. Ah.
I like how you said Yorkshire, like to differentiate that it's not actually in England. Yeah, it's in Yorkshire.
I've got a question here from
Perhaps
Acutely
in
Unaware.
Yorkshire Pride.
And I feel like Cody's going to enjoy this one very much. I want to know how we would defeat each other in combat, theoretically.
Is this for the second month of P.L.O.P or run up right now?
Ooh, that's a question.
The theme of
Do you
the
want us
next
to have?
episodes.
We should have a Fight Club episode. Where we just come up with
What are we doing?
hypothetical
Guys,
battles.
if we're having a Fight Club episode, you're already breaking the rules of our Fight Club episode.
Oh my god!
Come on.
We'll come up with a bracket.
Okay, we'll have a battle group episode.
Brackets between three of us.
And different scenarios.
What, like on land, in sea?
On the beaches. On the.
Who's got home advantage?
Do you think you guys would benefit from home advantage?
I mean, I do know the terrain.
Well, if I'm in Yorkshire, I can't be defeated, apparently. I've got my guillotines to back me up.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I can't. No. Surely, if you're going to reveal the guillotines being made in Yorkshire is a tall tale, please do it now. I can't.
Please.
No, the
Guillotine is such a
was
French
made-
word.
Oh, what
well,
did they call it?
I don't-
What was the original
don't-
name for the guillotine when it was invented in Yorkshire?
I'll find out.
Well, let's make some guesses.
Halifax
I'm going to guess it.
gibbet. The Halifax gibbet or gibbet,
Is that what
That's
it was originally
fantastic!
and they called it the guillotine. So I imagine it's like a translation of gibbet.
Halifax gibbet.
And I get. Oh, that's actually. I can't believe we've learned a little bit about the history of the guillotine in this podcast.
Look at us, guys. We're an educational podcast. Get your
We
schools
also-
to play us.
Oh, someone called us an educational podcast earlier on. Oh, just to check in with twitch.tv/Gackin Rice. The lovemaking is still going okay with the plot podcast.
That's fantastic.
Is this a tall tale?
If it is, it's a good tall tale.
Oh
I
my
appreciate
god! The theme! It was later named after French physician and Freemason. Fucking Freemason. Joseph Ignace
it.
Guillotine.
If they got Mason locked up, what's the big deal?
Free my man Mason. He ain't do nothing wrong.
Freemason, I hardly know Ace.
Freem, please don't freem me.
Freemason. Asen feels like a name someone could have in America. I feel like Asen is a guy, is a bully in a high school somewhere.
If you guys, so as we revealed earlier in this episode,
Asen.
we never went to school in the conventional sense because we were
Briefly.
briefly okay, but
He did.
none of us went to normal high school. But were we in like the American high school, the one that doesn't really exist in reality but in fiction?
The one with the red.
Where would we end up? What do you think?
Cups.
Yeah, the red solo cups, the ones with the gym teachers who are really involved in students' lives in a quite uncomfortable way. But anyway, so what are we? Where do you think we would be? What are our cliques?
Oh, what traditional?
What our niches are?
Niche.
We all fit into the nerds. Let's not kid ourselves.
We do all fit into the nerds, but however, I don't think that any of us are necessarily a straight nerd. I think Jacob's a band nerd. Is the thing? Is what we're forgetting.
See, the nerds in those films are like, how did I do that? You know, the kind of like.
What? It's the film you're watching, Family Matters.
I was just
the classic.
no, okay. I was going for the voice, and then that's what I thought. That's the
Urkel.
The quote I thought of Urkel.
Okay.
But you know that the nasally voice, the glasses,
yes,
the check shirt and suspend and
okay, well, check shirt is you.
Yeah, but not the same kind, you know.
No, it's
I think technically speaking, Jacob's going to be a band geek though.
But he's not a band kid.
Probably.
You're such a band kid.
I'm
a theatre kid. That's a stereotype
I
in itself.
kind of hate music at the moment, though.
Oh my god, bad news for Jacob's degree.
Jacob, the nearly professional musician, the semi-professional musician, hates music.
Jesus.
Imagine.
I don't know if I don't think I'll go into music, to be
where
honest.
someone turns on music and is like, "Wow, can we please?"
No, I
turn
don't
off
know.
the
Not in that
music?"
sense. Not in that sense.
Just
Not in
anytime
that
music is playing, but
I think I picked the wrong direction in life at this point.
Oh,
Let's do
that got real
a
deep
pivot
real
into
quickly.
something else.
I'm hoping this is a tall tale, Jacob, please.
No, it's true. I hate music.
Okay.
I hate doing music at the
You're such a
moment
good
because I'm
drummer,
studying
man.
it. Well, thank you, but doesn't mean I want to be studying it at the moment.
That's fair.
See, Gwyn gets it. He studied music at university.
TV4/Gwyn Fro also studied music at university and also hates music.
No,
Wow.
it's friend of the channel, Gwyn.
Friend of the channel, Gwyn. That's a good point, actually.
He gets a tier up from Twitch.tv / their handle.
In realness,
Oh, we've got a grading system here, haven't we?
in fairness, all of the people in the chat right now are friends of the stream, friends of the channel, friends of the channel.
Does that include Eleanor84? Because
Yes.
frankly, there's been some fire comments from that section,
Yes.
and I approve.
It does.
So
Is our fan base is the name for
our
the fan
fan
base?
base
The collective
is
name
based
is going
on
to be
asking
friends of the
people to-
channel.
Our fan base is based on asking people. Well, our fan base is based. Our fan base is based on asking people to watch them watching out of the feeling of
but I mean, going
obligation.
forward when we
Obligation.
when the algorithm promotes us, they're going to be twitch.tv / friends of the channel.
Twitch.tv / friends
Yeah.
of the channel.
those are our subscriber tiers. If you're not subscribed, you're twitch.tv. If you are subscribed, you're a friend of the channel.
That's great.
That's great. Oh my god, we've developed some plop lore. Thank you.
I know,
for joining
we're
us.
really preempting our ability to earn money here, but you know what? It's that kind of thinking that got Jim Carrey that $1 million check. We're manifesting.
I think what $1 million check?
So Jim Carrey, when he was like, I don't know, 21 or something, wrote himself a $1 million check to cash the next year, and then got like 3 of the biggest films of his career in that year or something.
Wow.
But
I
then
like
think
that.
of all the people who wrote that check and then didn't have that happen.
Knew.
You know?
I like
Surely
that
he
story
knew
in
he was having
theory.
big films
Yeah.
come up though.
Probably. Oh, he knew he had the auditions, I bet. I didn't really know. You know what? Maybe it was a bit of a exaggerated story.
What a stupid thing to do.
You're either going to be right in this outlandish
It makes
scenario where it works, or you're disappointed
sense.
in yourself.
Like, why not just want them? What? Why would you write yourself a
It's
check?
part of this whole thing, this whole manifest. You guys are familiar with the concept of manifesting, right?
I'm manifesting viewers right now.
Yeah. Manifesting.
Don't do it.
No.
It's just dumb. That's so dumb. That specific example is dumb.
It is. But Jim Carrey's quite a dumb person. Like in his,
I don't like
Inherently.
him.
I
I
think
like
he's
his
okay.
films. There's this interview with him. There's this interview like film called Jim and Andy, about how he played this dude Andy Kaufman, who's an amazing comedian in my view. And Jim Carrey like pretended to be him to the extent that he talked to Andy Kaufman's like daughter as the character,
Oh.
as the actual guy. Like it's gross.
That's horrible. That's stepping a line. Was Andy
Yeah.
Kaufman alive at this time?
Nope, long dead.
That's
Not long dead,
horrible.
but pretty long dead.
Imagine that.
Like
I'm
the
gonna go
film was
talk to
literally
this dude's
charting his
daughter.
tragic death.
Fucking hell. That's so funny for all of the wrong reasons. Imagine
Yeah.
thinking you're good enough of an actor to pretend to be
And
someone's dead
He's
dad.
a very
Tragedy
bizarre
is-
person.
He also wasn't. If you watch him, he plays it much broader than Andy Kaufman ever did.
Wow.
It's evidently
Do you know
still
who I
just an
think
impression.
should play Cody in the film about our lives?
Who?
Matt Smith.
Fuck's sake! Jacob should be played by. Let's finish this and then we're gonna end.
Yeah, we never actually did decide on this. Like, unironically, let's not insult each other because I'll admit I do love Jack Black. It just kind of hurt me because I'm insecure about my weight, as we know.
I think Matt Smith would be a good actor for Cody.
That's fair. I don't
being
think
serious.
Don't think the look is very good.
I don't think it's too far off.
I think if we jazzed his hair a bit and gave him glasses, it'd be pretty close.
That's true. That's true.
He's got a similar face shape.
Well, you can't find somebody who looks exactly like Cody to play Cody.
No, it's better to get someone who doesn't look that much like them but can really do the energy and the impression than to cast it based on facial.
Yeah, which is Matt Smith.
She is Matt Smith. Okay. What about Jacob?
Just a lumberjack that we find.
I'm not a lumberjack. I just wish I was.
He's not. No, we want someone sardonic, very good at saying things extremely deadpan. Aubrey Plaza.
Dylan Moran says, friend of the channel Gwyn, is actually quite a good shout.
He is very old, but yes.
Yeah, he would actually be getting on with it. Young Dylan Moran. Also,
not bad for Jacob.
He's a lot more Irish than Jacob is.
He's not Irish in... you know what, though? Actually, consider the character he sort of plays in Shaun of the Dead. That's not... Is he Irish in Shaun of the Dead?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Well, he could do an English accent. Very easy.
You've been doing one this entire time, you French spy! Your whole life is a tall tale!
Oh no! You have caught me! Oh,
oh dear. Oh dear. Somebody clip this. We need to have the French. Oh my god! Your name isn't Lex. It's Lex.
The X. For AFC.
Is your agent name X, and you're just known as
Lex? Yeah.
I am Lex. Give me all your cheese and wine.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so who's playing me? Apparently, it's going to be John Cleese, specifically in that one section of Holy Grail. But
your mother was a hamster, to be fair.
And my dad does smell a little bit of elderberries.
Elderberries. Lex.
But no.
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand is such a terrible casting for Lex. I'm sorry.
I will say this. I have had a friend who went to Russell Brand and then said he reminded her of me. And I was like, cool. I'm the original here.
Similar energy. To a certain extent.
I don't think so.
Okay, fine.
I
The
don't think
opposite
Russell
end of the
Brand could be a good
scale.
Lex.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, but you're thinking entirely on like a political leaning.
I can't. That's the defining part
Okay,
of his personality. Sorry.
No, it's not.
It's not.
But if we're going down that route, Karl Marx should play Lex.
Thank you.
We bring back Karl Marx and the dead. We teach him English.
It's like,
No more
I think he spoke
accents.
English.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He wrote the Communist Manifesto in a pub in England, I think.
And also, he visited,
commie place.
oh god, this specific part of Manchester.
Imagine writing the Communist Manifesto while a couple of lads are just having a fist fight near the bar. And it's like, oh my god, maybe I don't value human life.
No, but the Communist Manifesto is quite aggressive, so maybe he wanted to build up the workforce,
True.
to be an army.
He saw the raw strength of the standard man.
Workers of the world, rise up.
Drinkers of the world unite. Michael Sheen can play any of us.
Michael Sheen is a chameleon.
Okay, we've done it. The P.L.O.P film. Michael Sheen plays.
It's just Michael Sheen in different hats.
Yes, and because a lot of the scenes.
Mike Myers as Mike Myers. It's Michael Sheen as us interviewing Mike Myers as Shrek. He's also evil and Wade from Wayne's World.
And Michael Sheen also plays Mike Myers, playing all of these different characters, but Shrek is actually Mike Myers.
I actually don't know who I'd cast to be Lex.
No, it's difficult.
Is that? I mean, I don't know many actors, to be fair.
Maybe I'd play myself.
Oh,
'Cause you are an actor.
he's
You're an
an
actual
actor.
actor.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You played yourself.
DJ Khaled can play me.
And on that note, I think it's time to end the Tall Tale themed episode of P.L.O.P, where none of us told a lie the entire time.
Oh, I mean, I did say that I was French.
What?
Never mind.
We just established you were French. You can't go back on the law
Yeah,
immediately after.
He's a double agent.
Or as we call it in France,
Oh.
le double agent.
Jacob, did you like
Cody,
the
we're
podcast?
allowed to be racist towards the French. We're English.
It's like part of our heritage.
Actually, I'm Scottish, and technically I have an old alliance with that, so they're cool with me making fun of them.
The only lie was the title, says twitch.tv/second_plan. The whole thing was a tall tale. You've been tricked into watching something you thought would be
It's
good.
actually about the French.
The French.
You're going to wake up, and this podcast hasn't happened. You've actually got an hour and a half of your life back. Congratulations.
Oh, that'd be a great gift. It means they got all this fun and then also this hour of their life back.
And they saved on money.
Right.
Saving on that white bread.
So, Cody, are you going to wrap us up now?
Oh, Jacob.
Like a little morsel bonbon.
Jacob.
Yes, what? Go on!
You supposed to say yes or something. I don't know.
Was I?
Yes!
You said, I thought you were going to say
Okay,
TikTok.
let's take this from the top. You go, Jacob. Jacob will say yes, okay?
Jacob. Fuck you. I hope you like the podcast. Stream is over.